Greetings, everybody. My name is Squidward Tentacles from Bikini Bottom. Before we begin the show, I would like to ask you to please subscribe to this channel. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the new LTM half-hour special. I give you Flickman and the sequel from Happy Madison. Let's do it.
I'm a little bit off today, I cannot put my finger on it. Got up a little off today, just to play that same old song. I don't really want to try today, I see nothing in my reflection. I'm a little bit dry today, I feel like I could die today.
Ooh, I want to make the bed. Oh, what should I review today? What should I review today? Hello, what do we have here? It's a note. It reads,
Dear LTM, I know it's been a while since we've talked, but I need your help. You see, the movie that I am reviewing is so bad, it makes me cringe. So I could really use your help to review this movie, LTM. If you don't, you will be sorry. Love, Carl. P.S. Croissant.
who is this from again?
Greetings, LTM.
Wait, Carl? Is that you? I thought I killed you, with the big explosion and everything. What's going on here, Carl? What do you want?
I need your help, LTM. Remember that Paul Blart review that you did?
Yeah, what about my Paul Blart review?
Well, it turns out there is a sequel to Paul Blart that is so bad that everybody hated it. And I need you to review this freaking movie.
So, Paul Blart got a sequel? And now you want me to review it?
Yep, that sounds about right, LTM.
Okay, but what am I supposed to do? Just talk about the film and do nothing?
Well, LTM, here's what I want you to do. I got a uniform in there for you in your room so you can become a superhero known as Flickman. Sounds like a gay name, I know, but trust me, you're gonna want to wear that uniform. And the name really fits too.
Oh wow, a cape and a uniform? Okay, Carl, I'll make you a deal. I review this movie, you have to go away for the rest of the show.
Awesome. Alright, LTM. I'll be inside your mind the whole time. I'm in your imagination. I'm gonna be your Alfred and just stick with you the whole time. Carl Weezer gonna be in your mind. Croissant.
Okay, I'm gonna go find that uniform, and then after that, I'm gonna review the movie and watch the film myself. Not bad, honestly. Ooh, I love the dark cape. It's a little bit short on me, but it'll work. I am Flickman. Let's review this freaking movie. Feels good to be a hero now. Well, why do I need to really watch this movie for? Anyways, Carl, can you explain to me why I need to watch this film?
Sure thing, LTM. It all started back in 2015. Happy Madison released a sequel to Paul Blart. The movie was panned so bad that it caused a giant war against cartoon characters. Now, the good news was that I was able to get back in shape, and I was one of the few people that survived that war. But even after surviving that war, I kind of went into a little bit of a depression because I missed all my friends, especially the love of my wife, Judy, aka Jimmy's mom. Oh, croissant. It felt like all is lost. That is until I met a green ogre named Master Shrek, who gave me a prophecy.
Donkey, you must find me the chosen one to review Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, or else the world will fail.
After my chat with Master Shrek, I didn't know what to do, so I went on a quest to search for the chosen one to review Paul Blart Mall Cop 2.
Well, gee, I'm sorry, Carl. We must have been through a lot. Well, before I talk about my thoughts on the new before I watch the new Paul Blart, let's talk about the original movie.
So the first Paul Blart was released in 2009. It was a box office smash. It was made from Happy Madison. I know this sounds crazy, but I'm actually one of the few critics that actually like this film. I mean, it's no masterpiece, and I do prefer something like Here Comes the Boom over Paul Blart, but I still had fun with it. Now, I don't think it was sequel-worthy, but then again, that's just me. For those who don't know, Happy Madison is a studio produced by Adam Sandler and his friends, and basically they have a little bit of a bad reputation. Personally, I don't find them that bad, and while I do have a few guilty pleasures of mine from the studio, I will admit they've made stinker after stinker, and it just makes you question, how are these films still making money? That's just so weird to me.
So you all are probably wondering, what is the movie about?
Okay, so it's 6 years after the first movie. Paul Blart was married, but then ends up getting a divorce, and he's still depressed about his wife that died, which was mentioned in the first one. And his daughter, played by that one girl from Austin and Ally, who ends up getting into her dream school. But it turns out Paul Blart actually gets invited to a cop convention or something like that in Las Vegas. So while going on there, he's dealing with stuff about her daughter going to college. And then suddenly, in a few minutes into the movie just turns into this kidnapping story where Paul Blart's daughter gets kidnapped by this group of people. Just like, okay, let me just put it this way. It's the first one, but with a Las Vegas setting. That's it. In fact, half of the time, it's just Paul Blart being sad half of the time. Like him dealing with his daughter going to college and just him dealing with his wife and him going around in Vegas with all these lame gags. And that's the whole movie. It's the first one, but set in Las Vegas. In fact, the Las Vegas setting isn't even set in Vegas. It isn't even set in a mall. It's set in Las Vegas. I don't know what place it is, but it's set in Las Vegas and it's not a mall. The problem with Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 is that it's rehashing the first film. Think about it. You have a really wimpy cop named Paul Blart who is basically trying to stop and taking care of this one place while also trying to save his daughter from danger. Doesn't that sound like a little bit like the first one to you? I mean, if you're going to do a sequel, you gotta make it interesting. And doing the same thing over and over and over does not work. It's kind of like the Ice Age sequels. I mean, they're fun to watch and stuff, but they're just doing the same thing over and over and over. And when you do the same thing over and over and over with no change, even when there is a change, and if it's not interesting, it's going to get boring.
This movie is so boring.
I was pretty much bored while watching this movie. I mean, it's just, like I said before, it's just Paul Blart acting sad and just not being as funny as he was in the first movie. At least in the first movie, Paul Blart's character, even if you didn't like him in the first one, at least he was a character that had substance. He was really interesting. He had some bad moments, but he also had some good moments in the first one. There were moments where it was like, yeah, some of the jokes were pretty lame, but it was at least funny. Some of them were at least funny. This movie was filled with unfunny gags, painfully unfunny comedy, and just very bottom of the barrel gags that weren't funny the first time. Some of the gags I think that were just repeated from the first movie. And that's not the worst part. Some of the references and cameos in this movie are poorly wasted, despite a couple cameos. But I will admit though, I know this sounds crazy, but...
Well, to be fair,
It's got a few funny moments, but nothing really stands out about it.
I only laughed once or twice while watching this film, and make me laugh only just because the movie made me laugh around like 2 or 3 times does not make this a funny movie. A comedy has to make me more than laugh than 3 times in order to be a really funny movie. If your movie fails to make me laugh less than 3 times, then your movie fails. But there are some funny scenes, like the kiss references and the Jackie Sandler cameo. Paul Blart is not very likable in this film. I mean, he kind of is, but at the same time, he's starting to lose his charm. He's not as fun as he was in the first film. And even when they try to make him funny with all of his expressions and wild energy, it just seems kind of out of place. And sometimes, half of the time, I feel like the movie doesn't know what it wants to be. Half of the time, it's just him trying to deal with his daughter going to college, and while other times it's trying to be like the first movie. And it just doesn't work. If you're going to do 2 things at the same time, you might as well just choose one and then just stick with the other thing later. And Paul Blart himself is just not charming in this film, in this one. At least in the first one, even if you didn't like him in the first one, at least he had substance. At least he had a character. He just feels like just a rehash of himself. And, you know, I understand that they're trying to make him like like in most sequels where they try to make him more... trying to make him grow. They're trying to make him more into a character, trying to make him do something different. But here it just didn't work for me. I feel like half of the time I was just sitting there thinking, I feel like Kevin James is not having a fun time with this role. And I can really tell by that because Kevin James, I love the guy, but I feel like his humor is just getting kind of stale, especially for movies like Zookeeper and Grown Ups 2.
Carl, why was this film made? Who made this and thought this was a good idea?
Glad you asked, LTM. So this movie was only made just to avoid tax invasion. Paul Blart Mall Cop is basically the first film to be made because of tax credit for Sony.
Are there any good things about Paul Blart Mall Cop 2? Well, I mean, the action is fun, and I do like the side characters, and even though technically Paul Blart isn't good in this film, especially Kevin James's performance, I will admit there are a couple gags where they actually do work. Like I said, the bird scene, even though technically that one drags a lot, it is pretty funny. And the ending scene, although stupid and unnecessary, gave me a little bit of a chuckle. And I will admit, the relationship between Paul Blart and his daughter is kind of cute in some scenes, but that's about it.
Okay, you know what? Since this movie is over, I'm just gonna go over here to my remote. And I'm gonna shut this movie off once and for all.
What was that? Carl, can you hear me?
Are you okay, LTM?
What just happened? What did I just do? All I did was just press the remote and then it just kind of exploded.
The movie was so bad that it caused the house to explode, LTM.
Well, I understand the movie was so bad, but why would it explode? Carl? Carl, where'd you go? What was that? This isn't funny, Carl. Whoa!
Greetings, LTM.
Carl? What's going on?
Well, let's just say a friend of mine helped me out with this one.
Oh yeah, bro. We totally pranked him.
Well, remember all that stuff about the war and Master Shrek? Well, that was all just a lie to get my revenge on you.
So, all these things like the war, Master Shrek, it's all a lie?
Yep, pretty much.
Carl, I've had it for the last time. You need to quit doing this shit and it's getting old.
So, LTM, what's your opinion on Paul Blart Mall Cop 2? Did that help you anything, huh?
Oh, I'll tell you about my opinion about this freaking movie. Overall, guys, Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 is a waste of time, a waste of money, and even a waste of talent. There was some effort put into this, but then again, there's not really that much to it. Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 is just an unnecessary sequel to a very unnecessary movie. I mean, say what you want about the first movie, but at least the first movie had some sort of effort and substance to it. Even if you didn't like it, at least it was something. It was a very passable effort. This movie just felt like a complete cash grab, and you can smell it from a mile away. I don't recommend watching this movie unless you want to see it as like a so bad it's good film like most Happy Madison films. But honestly, I just say don't go and watch it unless you just want to see it as one of those so bad it's good films. But then again, I don't see it that way. Overall score, I give Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 a 3 out of 10. It's got a couple good things like the Las Vegas setting and just a couple funny gags, but other than that, I don't recommend Paul Blart Mall Cop 2.
I'll be right back.
Hey LTM, just so you know, that Nerf gun you used last time ain't gonna work for this. You need something much powerful than that.
The magic stick. Smile, you son of a... Whoa, what just happened? And where am I, too?
You're dead, LTM.
Wait, Squidward? What happened to you? What are you doing here? And why do I look like this?
Just like I said, LTM, you're dead. You're gone. Vanished. You're in hell.
Why am I in hell? And what are you doing here in hell?
Well, I ended up making out with Sandy Cheeks, so there's that. And, well, accidentally murdered SpongeBob, so there's that as well.
Well, is there any way I can get another chance and go back to Earth?
Well, you just gotta see the magic words, and hopefully you should be back to Earth.
Well, what's the magic words?
Oh, I was just playing with you, LTM. There are no magic words. I was just playing with you. You're never going back to Earth ever again.
Well, that's just great. Oh, well. You know, there's one thing I never understood, Squidward. If a movie is so bad and you can't stand it, why do people go see them? Why do people like them so much? I never understood that in film. That's just a weird question to me.
Well, that's just how the cookie crumbles, LTM.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Hey, do you feel something?
Oh. Much bigger explosion than last time, don't you think? Well, I guess my work here is done. Carl's gone. Muscle Man's gone. What else is there to do?
Some heroes are born with destiny. Some heroes are born with powers. Some heroes are born with no powers. Some heroes are born with nothing at all. But then there are heroes that have everything, but don't really seem to have the chance to do much. Heroes are basically just people. Heroes that care for their friends and the people above around them. Heroes that actually care about the world around them. Heroes that are dark, scary, mythical, weird, crazy. No matter what a hero is, they could still save the world no matter what. But that's only because I am that hero, and I will always be known as Flickman, defender of the films.
Oh yeah, bro. You know who else likes LTM movie reviews? You know who else likes Mutasia? Do you know who else likes Flickman? My mom!